immediately?
Yeah, but
no, because we haven't started. Oh, I guess so.
Go right ahead. Go.
We have a special guest in the chat. Sorry. All right, let's get these
hit it
tweets.
all out.
Get these tweets out.
Rebuild of the favorites. We here for the latest. South side or the north side. Not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams. Both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball. But we don't put the wrong strings. Yeah. It's that time of the year now. Wrigley or guarantees for the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new mood. Discussions and interviews. Trade rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife. Yeah.
The day I get being on time shamed by 108 guys, holy shit, we must be really fucking up. But anyways, what's going on, everybody? It's been a nice week off. You found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. We got to make sure everything gets put out to all the different socials right now. So just give us 2 more seconds. And sir, I have the microphone, so you will listen to every word I have to say.
And Jason, I read your "Hey everybody," so that's great. That's a great way to say hello. We should walk into a room that way. Usually, is "Hey everybody."
All right, I think we're good, right, Aldo?
Yep.
All right, you guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday. Shit, what month is it? October 28th.
Still October.
And you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. Often imitated, never duplicated. I am your host, Matt Swaski, a.k.a. Southside Zoe. And with me, as always, Mr. Aldo Soto.
Guys, like Kevin and obviously me, we know that's been a pretty crappy year for the Cubs. But there's always the Mets to make you feel a lot better. So, just we got that.
We'll get into that circus a little bit. And the good Reverend K. Fids.
Yeah, I hope you guys, it's Halloween weekend coming up. So I'm really, to get into the festive mood, I'll be in San Diego this weekend, dressed as a guy that may have lived on the West Coast at some point. I think we'll be dressed up like My Sock Summer for Halloween on Saturday night down in San Diego. So I hope that I gotta grow a little bit more hair chest, get a little bit more in the calves, but I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
I was letting you go on that one.
Yeah,
you are out on your own ledge.
But I just couldn't, so I felt like I was just going down the freeway till you find the next exit, and then you're like, okay, I can finally get over.
You started it. I was just gonna, we're in the off season now, so I'm just gonna let you fly, big dog.
I thought we were going to do this. Didn't we say we were going to do this podcast and we were all going to dress up for Halloween for this episode as the 108 guys? I thought we talked about that.
We briefly discussed it, but it never went past a one-time discussion.
Or was that me just talking with Aloha about dressing up like Golden Girls?
I don't have enough Beanie Babies.
It could be both. So yeah, welcome to off-season podcasting, everyone. So today's episode, though, we do want to talk about a little bit about the World Series because there are some lessons to be learned from the teams currently still playing here in October. That's why they make wigs, beef. We're going to talk about off-season. It's time to start making those off-season wish lists. Who you want to go after. There's already rumors starting to fly around. People are just throwing shit against the wall, seeing what sticks. So we'll kind of dive into that a little bit. And I have a feeling that this show is going to go in a lot of different directions throughout the course of the show. So buckle up, stay with us, and let's tap this keg. As always, the show is brought to you by us. Make sure that you use the pin comment at the top of the @PinwheelsIvy Twitter account. If you want to support the show, you guys have been crazy generous already up until this point, and we really appreciate that. Maybe with some of the money, I could buy a light that doesn't make me look like a fucking Casper. And
it's natural.
Yeah, it's all This is definitely all natural.
Southside
Irish Pollock complexion.
Are you planning on using the Ark of the Covenant and opening that up to get that perfect hand?
Kamalale. What did he say?
No, that's a Molaram.
Shakti.
Sorry.
But no, we really appreciate it. Thank you guys very much for all that. And then you can we still have the merch store. There's still a link to that. You guys can go and buy it. It's starting to get cold as shit in Chicago. So go get yourself a hoodie because you know goddamn well men in Chicago don't wear jackets. We just put 2 hoodies on. So go buy that second hoodie, or it could be a work hoodie. I don't really give a shit. Just go buy a hoodie.
If you're listening on the West Coast where me and Aldo are at, just go buy a t-shirt.
Yeah, or like a long sleeve for the slight chill that might
For
be
the chilly 50-degree days. Yeah.
Oh, fuck off. It's like 50 degree. I was like, sweet, I could take my kid for a walk. It's really, I'm just wondering, how do I get this off of like European tourist in Florida light? Like, this is like brutal, dude.
Hey, I mean, it was pretty chilly in the morning. I had to walk my dog. It was like 55 degrees.
I know. I wore a sweater to school today. Like,
glad you survived, Aldo.
I mean, the sleeves were rolled up, but
so I wanted to start though. One of the things that was addressed, and it was glaring, and towards the end of the White Sox season, and especially in the postseason, was how do I want to put this? Some of the Whites, I'm not putting this all on Hahn either. I'm going to say the White Sox front office. I'm not going to say Hahn. That's unfair. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. Some of the White Sox acquisitions at the trade deadline didn't really pan out. Kimbrel, he was all right. I don't think he was as bad as people like to put it on, but he wasn't good. Cesar Hernandez, not great. Tempera was good. I mean, but the one thing that keeps getting
1 for 3.
Yeah, 1 for 3. I mean, there's guys in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But Kimbrel did suck. I mean, Kimbrel was bad.
It didn't matter what Kimbrel did in the regular season. They brought him on because he was supposed to be a second lockdown reliever, and he wasn't.
And it was supposed to be like this 2-headed dragon between Kimbrel and Hendricks, and it just never really panned out. They were, I mean, we are 100%, we are beating the shit out of the hindsight drum right now. I understand that, but anytime you watch the World Series, and yes, I'm going to start my ramble now, MSS, lick my balls. Anytime you watch the World Series, like certain narratives just continue to get pounded and pounded and pounded into your head. And the thing about the Braves that they keep bringing up, and every time they bring it up, I don't know, I just kind of like, God damn it, is how they paid nothing for their 4 trade deadline acquisitions, basically. Like, they got people to pay them to take players, and all 4 of them have been prevalent in their run to make the playoffs, and even more useful here during the playoff run in the World Series. And as I say this, Jock Peterson strikes out. But it was just wild to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just...
Well, like, I mean, that's the other thing where it does kind of come into luck. Because, I mean, you look at, like, a guy like Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson sucked with the Cubs.
Yep.
After he was with the Braves, he was hot for like a couple weeks. He sucked with the Braves. And really, Jock Peterson's just been hot in the playoffs. So it's not like, oh man, Jock Peterson got traded and he hit like 400 with the Braves and led the Braves. Like, no, like, a guy like Eddie Rosario, the same thing. Eddie Rosario was like, he was better with the Braves, but like, it's because of what he's doing in the postseason. And like Alex said, Beef agreed. Yeah, it's a hindsight. And like all those moves, I think we all liked them that the White Sox did.
100%.
Ultimately, though, it's on the players. And I think this is where, you give the players the credit. And, the Sox, Cesar Hernandez, that was a solid trade. Cesar Hernandez just sucked.
Yes.
Craig Kimbrel, that was a solid trade. That was a go for it. Good job, Hahn. You fucking went for it. Like, that's what you should do. I kind of mishandled what the roles were, maybe. But, that's a different discussion. But, I mean, I think the majority of Sox fans, I think, obviously there was people who didn't all agree with all the trades, but the majority, those were good moves. It's just the players didn't come through.
They just underperformed. And yeah, I would not argue the fact totally that when the moves were made, my reaction to things are all fucking recorded, so you can just go back and find it if you want. But, in a sense, I will get pumped up no matter what. Like, I will try to talk myself into moves most of the time. Like, but all those moves I was for, even, Madrigal to Kimbrel, I don't even think I thought twice. I was just like, it sucks that he's gone, but that's a good move. It's well documented. I thought that. Cesar Hernandez, I thought Gold Glove, okay, 8-9 hitter, whatever. But none of them really just panned out for him. And it sucks. And I just hate it that they keep fucking pounding into our skulls as you watch this World Series, how these 4 guys that the Braves picked up are exceeding expectations.
Yeah. I mean, and like a lot of times the World Series, when you see the trades or you see like the World Series teams, there's always some luck involved.
Oh, without a doubt.
And again, like the fucking Braves went 4 for 4. Like, how often is that gonna happen?
Very rarely. I mean, Eddie Rosario, what's he hitting? He's hitting 444, 490, 733 with an OPS of 1.223 in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing that you could say about the Braves is obviously they lost Acuna, like they lost Ozuna. So they needed outfield help, and they were aggressive. They targeted guys and that's the other thing. It goes back.
He's not really my type. I tend to fuck taller guys. But go ahead.
Is it worth noting that the Braves had a worse record than the Cubs did at the trade deadline?
Yes, it absolutely is.
And that's the other thing. If the Braves are like in the NL Central, we're not talking about the Braves right now.
No,
they were in the fucking worst division in baseball.
They had the worst record of any team that made the postseason, and they're right now in the driver's seat for the World Series. It doesn't matter. That's why you play the game. It's why winning a World Series is so damn hard.
Really? No,
it's so hard. Like, it's not easy, and to think that, and that's why you got to always temper the expectations. That's why I love that old Madden phrase: "Don't let the the pressure outweigh the pleasure," because there's going to be one team standing at the end. I mean, it's not easy. So,
no, without a doubt. And
I mean, to get that performance from those types of guys, and to see the guys that the White Sox got that didn't really get it done, it's again, it's why you play the games. On paper, everything seems to work out well, and then you play the games, and the human element does come into play.
Yeah, and then we've been watching the fucking Astros, who, I mean, these guys can just hit. Yep. It's annoying as shit. Fuck them. I hate the fucking Astros.
Except last night when I took the over. Dicks.
Yeah, same. And they're not even really doing it with power. You know what I mean? It's not like a crazy home run barrage that, people tend to like to see, but it's more, they love fucking doubles in the corner. They work the lines like a 16-inch softball game, man. Doubles in the corner. They go opposite field, situational hitting. They see the shift. We've already seen a couple hits in this game on Wednesday night where they've hit it through the shifts. I thought Yuri Gurriel just like shoved a home run right up my dick, but it's short. Thank God. I was like, wow, that was really bad timing. But yeah, I mean, it's tough to watch the World Series and look at these teams and be like, oh, this is what the White Sox should do. Like, you can't really mold, or the Cubs should do, because there is so much. I like how you guys put it, though, just the human element into it. I guess I never really thought about it that much.
Yeah, I mean, because again, like, the Braves are like below 500. They're like, I think, a game worse than the Cubs. Obviously, I mean, there are different factors because like the Cubs just had everyone or their star players they didn't had no one committed, or they didn't sign anyone to extensions. So it's like they're all kind of lame duck guys. And the Braves were kind of in a position where they could, I guess, gamble because they have because they have Ozzy Alvarez and Ronald Acuna signed to peanuts. By the way, every team does it. The Cubs did it with Rizzo. I mean, the White Sox have done it with a few guys, but those contracts that the Braves have for Acuna and Ozzy Alvarez are a fucking joke.
It's crazy. And the fact that the Braves are doing what they're doing without Acuna is insane.
Right, yeah.
I mean, again, that's because these players took up. But what were you saying before we went live, although? What did they get? I don't even remember. What did they get Rosario for?
I think if they like just dumped Pablo Sandoval or something, or...
Yeah, hold on.
It's it was something ridiculous, right? I think was it because I think the deal was with Cleveland, and I think they just like dumped the money and they just traded.
It was Sandoval for sure.
So it was Sandoval and then the Cleveland just. I think the big thing was Cleveland basically traded Eddie Rosario for nothing,
right?
Because after they got Sandoval, I think they just let him go.
bad in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Like, he was bad. And yeah, that's what it was. Pablo went to Cleveland. Cleveland basically just were like, yeah, fuck it, give us Fat Boy. They cut his ass right away, and then Rosario goes on to hit 450 in the playoffs for the.
Yeah, Eddie Rosario was bad.
He was really bad in Cleveland.
And that's another thing. We're like, hey, like maybe got more motivated being in a playoff run, or just change of scenery, whatever it was. Like, hey, sometimes you bet on guys and it works.
Yeah. And this is the thing that we've talked about too. Just like pennant races bring out certain performances from players, teams that are out of it brings out performances from players when they don't have any more skin in the game. And so, I mean, we'll talk about it later with the Cubs, but that's the exact opposite, I think, with the Cubs. The Cubs can't actually bank on guys like Wisdom and Swindell because they and Hap even, because they started performing when there was no more skin in the game. It was over. They weren't playing pressure field baseball every day. And so how that affects everybody and guys that get a change of environment that have been playing for shit teams. I love watching a guy come from like the Pirates to a new team that's like in contention. And then all of a sudden the whole world gets to know this individual because they went from what is this world of, high level baseball and intensity to like, boom. And it brings out something special in those types of players. And I think the Cubs saw it with the Ramos Ramirez in 2003. I think that those types of things, they pull that. I just love that aspect. So I love, when a guy gets pulled from a dead in the water team to a contender, and they just perform. And that's Rosario getting out of a dead in the water team to him was like an injection of vitamin B, and just boom.
Yeah. Rosario had a 685 OPS in 78 games with Cleveland. And then like basically a month with the Braves, 33 games. He slashed 330, 570, my bad. He hit 271, 330, 573, and then he's continued that on in the postseason. So,
and then, but I see what you guys are saying in the comments, and I know a lot of this is luck. And again, I fully understand we're beating the shit out of the hindsight drum right now. I understand all of that, but it's funny that he just brings up Adam Frazier. So I come from the camp, a firm believer of like, as Fids was mentioning, when you put a player into different situations, it's kind of get in where you fit in. Mm-hmm. So like Jock didn't work with the Cubs, goes to Atlanta, and I know he's not fucking like Hall of Fame or anything, but he's working out kind of you know what I mean? And I really think Adam Frazier going to San Diego was just a terrible fit. I think it was a terrible fit.
He was the only guy who was bad after a trade.
Right. Oh, he was terrible. And as soon as he was bad in San Diego, I got a bunch of DMs and people would fucking put in my mentions like, Cizo, and you wanted this asshole. Okay, he did bad in San Diego. Like, what happens if he came to Chicago? It's a completely different situation, different organization, different everything.
Locker room.
It's different. Everything's fucking different. You don't know how it would have happened. Yes, statistics I love stats, numbers. They're all fucking great. But like, there's something about that element of a deal that we saw with the White Sox. Kimbrel didn't work out in Chicago. Caesar didn't work out in Chicago. Frazier didn't work out in San Diego, and so on and so forth. But like, I still think Adam Frazier would work great.
Donaldson didn't work out in Minnesota. Oh, sorry, never mind.
Fuck Donaldson. Did you see that asshole? He's back on Twitter.
Wearing that stupid
he had the fucking audacity to compare himself with Aaron Rodgers. He's like, looks like me and Aaron got something in common. And he used his baseball reference page against the White Sox to say that he owns Chicago.
Excuse me. No, Wally's line is put it in where they'll let it in, I think is actually Wally's. Sorry. Didn't mean let's not get those two mixed up. Get in where you fit in. No.
And so, I don't know. Like, I just think that, like, I still wouldn't mind having Frazier. If San Diego wants to get rid of him, I mean, I know the White Sox got to do something for second base.
I've already proposed the best solution.
What's that?
Kimbrel, maybe a little salary relief for Bryson Stott to the Phillies.
Yeah,
a left-handed second baseman.
You put me onto that kid. That kid's fucking good.
This is his mom off because he's happy there. But I know that Alex will keep saying that Bryce Harper won't let him go. Bryce will do whatever he's got to do to get a win. If getting a Kimbrel wins a World Series, he'll be like, Bryson, we'll see you in football in the fall. Bye.
And we'll get to that a little bit more when we get into the wish list. But you put me onto that kid. And usually when you start talking to me about a kid, and I could, I've known you long enough now, Fids, when I know you're like really big. Like, I haven't heard you talk about a prospect like that since Vaughn.
Well, I remember same draft. I was like, if the White Sox don't take Vaughn, they better take Stott. That was literally me that draft, same draft.
Yep.
That was the guy that was like, dude, this guy's gonna fall. He's a gem. blah blah blah. I was. We go back to that show. I think I'm pretty sure it might have been hard for him to walk with me swinging from his nuts the way that I was. But he's a fantastic ball player and a great kid. So he's someone you want in your clubhouse.
I kind of agree with Alex though. It's not. I don't. Why would the Phillies ever do that?
They're obsessed with Kimbrel
because it's not like Craig Kimbrel the last piece that the Phillies need. Like the Phillies still, they're like barely above 500 team.
Right.
What was their Achilles heel this year?
A lot of things.
What was their biggest Achilles heel this year?
The bullpen, but like they're gonna lose
I don't
a
know
lot.
if they're gonna dump. I know, but again, this is fucking October 28th.
It's a good conversation starter. I'm not saying it's not.
I'm floating the sea because it's a dream scenario for me. So that's all.
It's
But
just
I also think he's a badass. So
I understand a lot of these people in the comments are a ton of fun at parties, but it's just it's a wish list fucking, hey, maybe we explore this a little bit type show. You guys got to understand it's a long fucking off season. Got to do a show a week. Got to make something happen here.
Don't worry, guys. We'll do the Andrew Vaughn trades.
Yeah. Well,
we got a couple really good ones. Really good ones.
I still think. All right, you guys just want to start talking about crazy off-season shit? Because you guys got anything
why
else
not?
on the World Series? Might as well. We're fucking.
We might be starting to get a work stoppage, so we might as well just get it in all now.
Alex asked if I attach my boy Tanner for Stott. Yeah, I would.
Well, hold on. Before we do get, that's a good point. Do you really think there's going to be a work stoppage after all the shit that's coming out?
I'll be honest. I know that the story came out this week. I did not read the story, so I know there's the follow up.
Well, there was another one today that they've been meeting. It's like they've probably been meeting for a long fucking time.
I mean, this has been going on for a year. Like the big thing was last year, and what went down for 2020
with COVID stuff. Yeah. This is the thing too. When you start seeing these stories start getting published, that tells me specifically that they're closer than we think, because now these public PR moves that help push along the negotiations, you start leaking those things out, and it's really early to leak something like that, saying that there's probably going to be a work stoppage. That means like, oh well, shit, they must be really far. But in the end, they're probably closer than we realize. And this is like kind of that push. Like, look at the fans are getting antsy. The season ticket people that aren't going to, maybe they're not going to renew. This is the time to sell your tickets. Blah 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 blah. They're starting to see little moments, and it's the World Series. Everybody's watching baseball, so it's a great time to get their attention. But I know a lot of people in the game aren't holding their breath that there's not going to be a stoppage, but I think that it's closer than I haven't gauged a huge concern. Whether I'm talking with Shreve. Shreve sounds like doesn't seem super concerned. Obviously he's got a contract for next year. I know the KB is not going to do anything until after that thing is, unless someone throws like an insane number at him. He'd be stupid to do anything until after the CBA, because we might know about the DH sounds like it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. I both those guys seem to be very sure that the DH is a certainty,
which I'm all for.
Yeah.
So I think that when you see those things leaked out there, though, that it's part that means negotiations are really ongoing. That's part of that. We know that with trade stuff. This is the game as it is in the modern landscape. It's leak a little bit to a reporter, Associated Press, or someone on the wire, get that story floating out there, and then fans speak their mind, and it gets everyone talking, and it gets a good gauge, and it puts pressure where pressure is needed. So
I don't think they miss any games. I think preseason. I think spring training starts on time.
Well, Pete made a point the other night. This is why we can't have a work stoppage, because this will affect us too, because you guys are going to be in on this. The White Sox have the Cubs. The Cubs and the White Sox are scheduled for back-to-back games on a Saturday and Sunday in the mid to late portions of March for spring training. When the Cubs have back-to-back games against the same team on a weekend, that usually is the Vegas Big League weekend game.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to pull out some like crazy stat, and I was like, "This sounds like Major League." No.
I'm saying that there could be potentially 2 Cubs games against the Sox here in Vegas next March during March Madness, which maybe you guys should. Aldo get in the car. So get on a flight.
Wait, which movie was it? Was it Major League or was it Little Big League, where the guy would always be like, "And here's a fun fact: he's hitting 342 in a dome when Mercury's in retrograde and the wind's blowing to the northeast." I thought you were about to pull one of those.
No, wait, I think it was Little Big League. I think you're right.
I thought you were about to pull one of those. Like every time the Cubs play the Sox back to back in postseason. So
I think I am with you guys. We're like I probably should be more optimistic that like nothing bad will happen. But at the same time, like we've been saying since like for a couple of years, like there's definitely going to be something.
Expect the worst. You hope for the best and expect the worst.
The other thing you mentioned the World Series happening right now and how everyone's watching. I was going to ask you guys, do you think with Houston being in it and like all the shit that like obviously the cheating scandal that's surrounded with them, do you think it's actually hurting the audience? Because like everyone's like, fuck this, I'm not watching them. Or do you think it's the opposite?
I think
it's like fuck them, I want to see them lose.
I'm like, fuck this because their fans are annoying as shit. They really, I've never really paid attention to the Astros fans, but fuck are they annoying. They're very annoying on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I said something like, I want the Astros to lose in a painful way. Is that too much to ask? Like, it was completely tongue in cheek, just like whatever. And the reason why I tweeted is because they beat the dog shit out of the White Sox. Nothing else. I'm over the cheating thing. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, whatever. Unwarranted, someone that I don't follow, that doesn't follow me, no idea how they even got to this tweet, replies back like, you've been brainwashed by mass media to believe that they've cheated when 8 other teams have cheated, you fucking sheep, or some shit like that. I was just like, whoa, buddy. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm mad because they beat the White Sox. And he's like, yeah, okay. Maybe you should talk to, and he tagged 2 other people. And he's like, they did extensive research into why they weren't the only ones cheating. I'm like, cool. Like, they have like, it's annoying as fuck, dude. They're
okay, I got to stand corrected here. The Cubs play the White Sox on the Friday, and then so no, it's a Tuesday game. It looks like a Monday and a Tuesday. So
yeah, Alex.
All right, Alex, so here comes the blackout.
But they do play. Let's see that it's got to be 2 games at home on the weekend. It's got to be a Saturday and Sunday. And right now, the only Saturday Sunday I see at Cubs is Padres at Cubs and Dodgers at Cubs.
Oh, there you go. Although Alex is just a fucking fountain of facts as usual today, but Game 1 had historically low ratings.
I mean, yeah, and the other part of that is like
I watched it for gambling.
I'll be honest, I didn't watch a single pitch. I just have,
and I just want to watch baseball. The
thing is though, the other half of the equation is the Atlanta Braves. Number 1, we know Atlanta, not a good sports town. Number 2, nationwide, like the Braves don't move the needle. So I don't the numbers show it, at least for Game 1. I don't think more people are interested.
No, I mean, I watched it just because I wanted to watch baseball, and it's the World Series. I'm always going to watch the World Series. Plus, you sprinkle in now that I can gamble on it legally in Illinois, so I can do all these crazy prop bets and shit on my phone.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I was watching stupid under. But I did take the Braves in Game 1. I stayed off of Game 2. I just bet the over just because I don't want to bet for the Astros. And yes, Beef, that guy 100% said lamestream media, so I knew he was very serious.
He did call you a sheep, though, correct?
Oh, I got called a sheep. I got called brainwashed. I got called a sheep. I got called all that shit. So
I gotta pull out the bingo card for.
Did they call you part of the deep state of baseball? I was just wondering.
No, we didn't get there because I finally and I even spelled it out for him. I was like, I'm not even referring to cheating. I'm mad that they beat my favorite team. And he was just like, oh, well, maybe you should talk to these people. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Is that what it was, though? Did the Penguin tell you to do it?
Yeah, shampoo is better. But
hey, Braves got another run, so you're over. What was the total? 9.5?
8.5.
8. Oh yeah, you're looking good.
Yeah, so
I bet the total 6.5 for the Astros, so I can guarantee they won't score again. So I took one for the team.
I have a question for you guys. Like, just looking at the postseason overall, so we can do it for both teams because obviously both teams should do something this offseason and free agency.
Both teams got a lot of work to do.
So, but just maybe a little jump starter here. Pick one guy, any player from any of the postseason teams. Obviously, Kevin and I, we can choose from all of them because the Cubs weren't in it. Who's the one player that you would want on your team for 2022?
Like
any
contract status.
That's going to be a free agent.
Okay. I can't. All right. I was going to say
we still have to stay in the box of this could happen.
When's Kyle Tucker a free agent?
When is
Ted 6 years?
Ted Williams' head going to be available? I would like to draft Ted Williams' head. Frozen. But
fuck, I want Kyle Tucker.
Because there's your guys though, Jock.
There's got to be someone better that's going to be a free agent than Jock.
Kyle Schwarber.
Nick Castellanos.
No, but Schwarber is a perfect example of what I was talking about a situation being the right fit. I know he went fucking off for the Nationals, but Schwarber on the Red Sox just feels right to me.
Oh yeah, he feels like he's a great Schwarber.
100% correct.
He's perfect.
Just everything about it feels right. The short porch in right field. Where did that glove come from at first base? He's fucking scooping left and right.
He's a catcher. He's a catcher.
But still, I was impressed. Fuck, as soon as you were going to finish, I was going to say Kyle Tucker, but
I mean, I think I'm assuming you'd still want him, but yeah, obviously you guys have Tim Anderson. As Alex pointed out, the number one guy would be probably Carlos Correa.
100%. And I just pray to like every
just move TA back to second base
that he doesn't go to the Tigers.
I mean, you need a right fielder. I mean, Ryan Castellanos isn't like that.
Nicholas.
Nick.
I keep him every single time. I coach
new drinking show, because that name's gonna pop up every episode. So
every time I call Nick Castellanos, Ryan Castellanos, third baseman, Silverado High School, 2000. That's why.
By the way, but Nick Castellanos didn't make the postseason. So.
No, he didn't make the postseason, but the White Sox will sign him and give him a lot of money, and then he will just fade away to irrelevance. But anyways, I don't know. I'm looking like Carlos Correa is definitely the type of guy where it's like you sign him, and like Alex said in the comments, I was just about saying the same. You sign him and you just figure it the fuck out. Like, I don't know, just like, bro, you're playing second, or TA, you're playing second. Chris Bryant.
Kevin, strike one for not mentioning him right away.
Yeah, you are definitely not on the Christmas card list anymore. You are not on the. You are not getting a Christmas card.
I'm not contributing to the drinking game tonight.
Okay, fair enough.
I was letting you say it, just like when we went on the 108. I didn't say the name. I let Beef say the name.
Yeah, I think
is JD Martinez going to be a free agent? I know you guys have like 10 DHs.
No, we have 8 JD Martinez's already. I'll take Chris Bryant though, because of play him in fucking right field.
Let's be honest, guys. You guys even brought up the most talented available free agent, and it's all via White Sox Twitter. There is nobody who looks better in the cage than Ken W.O. So I think that would really fix the right field issue, putting him out there. It's got a fantastic swing. It's got a delicious body. No, the KB thing. KB fits because KB's versatile. KB can spell guys all over the diamond. Mm-hmm. I did mention him during the strike talk. You're right. That's true. So there was one drink. So have a sip.
Marcus
Simeon's one too.
Yeah, but Toronto didn't make the playoffs.
So let's see. It's from the playoff teams too. So what about
Kevin Gossman?
Isn't LaStella? Isn't LaStella a free agent or no?
I think he signed a multi-year deal with the Giants.
Okay.
Here's a name.
Delta free agent?
Zoe, I saw this name the other day, and I think he was brought up seriously. And then I was thinking, there's no way Sox fans can be this. There's no way Sox fans can be this desperate. But right field is obviously a priority.
Yes. Ooh, Chris Taylor.
What about old friend Avisail Garcia?
Nope.
Yeah, Brandon Belt's contract's done, so he's a free agent as well.
Belt, he's a free agent.
Avisail Garcia would be
perfect.
A better Adam Eaton signing. It's just like I'd actually like the guy, but like they can do better. That's the whole point. Is they can do better. Like.
I mean, what about your guy, Eddie Rosario?
I think no. I mean, he definitely earned himself a contract in these playoffs.
I mean, here's the guy. I think we already brought him up, but for the Dodgers, Chris Taylor.
Yeah, Chris Taylor.
And then the other guy that Rick Hahn wanted that, Bob Nightingale ruined the trade, Eduardo Escobar.
Yeah.
For second base.
I don't know. I maybe it's just because of what he did in the playoffs. I mean, 3 home runs in one game. It was fucking sick. He's an absolute he was a beast for the Dodgers. But I mean, over the last 2 years, 259 259, 350, 448 slash line, and he played center, left, third base, shortstop, and second base.
It's pretty versatile.
Like, he's 31 years old. He's not exactly a spring chicken in baseball years, but was in my old arthritic 37-year-old ass being like, yeah, 31, fucking old balls.
I'm getting to that age where I'm like, yeah, you know, when you're past 30, you're past your prime. I'm like, fuck,
Yeah,
that's
fucking
me.
old balls, Chris Taylor, 31.
See that guy's balls? They were old looking.
They were weird.
They were weird looking.
They were weird looking. But yeah, I mean,
laughed. The screen froze, and you were like stoic. You were like, it was like, but you were like,
Chris Taylor would definitely be a good one. Don't need Rizzo. Don't need Cruz. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I'll stick with. I mean, if to answer the original question, because I know a lot of people like My Sock Summer love it when I take the long route to answer questions.
Circular.
I will say Chris Bryant would be my answer. What would your guys' answer be for the Cubs?
Oh, I mean, my number one guy is Carlos Correa. Oh, I wanted to bring this up to you guys. You brought it up earlier, Zoe, talking about that comment you got when you just wanted the Astros to lose. I know as a fan, I should hate the Astros like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to some friends the other day. I do, but I don't have that level of hatred that like I think the majority of like the people who are, you know, watching these games do. Like even like when they like that series against Boston when they came back, I was like, I wasn't like fuck Houston or like fuck, can't believe they fucking won. I was just like, wow, like what a comeback.
Yeah,
I mean, like I don't know why I don't like because what they did was like I mean we all agree like even I think Chris Bryant was one of the guys like yeah no like what they did is like worse than guys using steroids, and I think that was like a thought for like a lot of players. Yep. But like I don't know why I don't have like that like deep hatred for them that like I feel like I should like I don't know.
It's worn off on me over time. Like I had the original I was fucking pissed, but
I don't even. It's not even the cheating thing. It's after getting caught cheating. It's the lack of contrition that pisses me off.
Yeah,
more.
For sure.
It makes me dislike the Astros fans more. How about you say they fucked up and move on? Like it's like Sammy Sosa not admitting that he, there's blatant, obvious evidence, circumstantial or, private evidence that proves 100% he took steroids. If he just said I took steroids, it's over. I'm sorry, I didn't. I'm sorry, I took steroids. Done. It's over. You're forgiven. Like it's good. But the lack of contrition creates this spiral effect and a snowball effect that makes it worse. That it's like a liar won't believe anybody else, or those old phrases or whatever. They create their own environment by being so standoffish about it. It's like it reminded me of Roger Clemens when he was accused of steroids. Instead of just he punched forward. You push forward with a lie, and so it makes it very hard for you to A, respect them, or B, to know who's full of shit and who's not. And all of that stuff all rolls into this, and it creates this. I mean, honestly, I don't know a fan that's not a Houston fan that likes Houston, like really likes Houston. It's because it's not. Again, the cheating stuff that was 4 years ago. This group isn't cheating, but they're members of this team that did and haven't come clean and just said, yeah, well, yeah. Because again, if you're gonna lie big, right?
Right.
We've learned that from politics and sports in the steroid era. If you're gonna lie, just lie big. Mark McGwire can tell you right to the face with a needle in his ass, I did not take steroids. That's what they're doing. They're just look over here, misdirection. So, I mean, that's what made it worse for Houston. That's what made me dislike Houston more. The cheating stuff, let's be honest, there are other teams were doing it.
I think that's the other thing where I'm like, well.
But and when people say that, well, they the ones got caught because they were the last ones. And then I had somebody try to say that because Houston was so innocent, that's why they got caught. I'm like, so you're telling me that the dumbest franchise in baseball instead, right? Is that what we're going? Because it's but yes,
no, I agree. I think it's always a lame when Houston fans are like, well, other teams do it too. It's like, well, you got caught, dude. Like, there's circumstantial evidence that you got caught.
Yeah,
I know that's what you just said, Kev, but I'm just saying
there was a blood test that was anonymous that they couldn't say who it was, but we all knew who it was. So if Jose Canseco says it's so, when it comes to that era, it's so.
But yeah, I mean, going back to like
I got very
Sasquatch
confused.
and Alien, not Sasquatch and Aliens. No, yeah. That's
But yeah, going back to like the player, like could come from Houston. Obviously, he was like one of the guys like involved. But like, I'd still like Correa.
Oh fuck!
And
yeah.
I mean, and I'm not all in on like the Cubs are gonna do something big, but unlike other seasons, or unlike like the past 3 off seasons, there are actually like little spring. I don't know if they're bullshit, but at least it's nice to see that there's out there. It's like, hey, Cubs are looking at some of these shortstops. I don't believe it. I don't think it's I don't think it's serious right now. But hey, it's a starting point that we haven't fucking seen since like 2018.
And yeah, thank you, Alex. You definitely put this way more eloquently. That everybody cheats. The difference is that their fans are proud of it and how they got caught.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a combination of that and like what Kevin said. The initial like response to them were like, Alex Bregman like being a fucking smug ass, Altuve turtling,
right?
And then Correa. That's the thing that Correa now he's like he just seems like overly arrogant now. It's like,
Correa
dude,
definitely, and I'm gonna use a wrestling term because you know me, huge wrestling guy. But Correa definitely did a heel turn. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, he's like no, guys, like we're fucking good now. Like fuck all of you.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. You still did something wrong.
Yes, and as some of you in the comments, we definitely recommend you watch the show live while enjoying a good buzz. It's way better. But yeah, no, this is a really loaded free agent class, though. There's a lot of big names out there in this free agent class, especially if you're in the market for a shortstop. Like, I mean, and the Cubs are. So they're definitely a team that could, but just looking at it, you got Carlos Correa, Corey Seager, Trevor Story. That was
Trevor Story,
Marcus Semien. I mean, there's those names right there. Go get yourself one of those. You know what I mean? Like,
and again, this is the same thing as 2018 with Machado and Harper. It doesn't matter, like, if the plan is to compete next year, to compete in a couple years, to compete in 3 years. No matter what, these guys that you're signing, they fit into your fucking plan of winning.
Right.
Like, it's not Carlos Correa is like what, like 27? It's not like he's gonna be 29 in 2 years and be like, oh fuck, he's old now.
Yeah.
Like, no. Like, you get like these guys still fit in whatever fucking plan it is that the Cubs are designing to be competitive. It's like I hate the excuse of, oh well, I mean, how are you gonna sign him to like a long-term deal when if you're not ready to compete right now? You should be fucking ready to compete in the next couple of years, I hope.
I feel like the Cubs have a lot of needs they need to address.
It's mostly pitching. Yeah.
What I was gonna say, if like let's say they called you up, you two, and they're just like, give us the top 3 things we need to address in this offseason. What are your top 3 for the Cubs?
Starting pitcher, bat.
Which position for the bat? I need you to be specific.
I want the
doesn't matter. Just best bat
out there.
Okay.
That's the thing. As much as I would want Correa, like if they can get like 2 solid starting pitchers and then like a Castellanos or whatever, or like 2 solid starters, and just like the Cubs, how Kevin mentioned earlier. Right now, if you look at the Cubs roster, it's like, hey guys, we have Patrick Wisdom, who hits 240 but slugs. Cool, that's fine. You can have that. But then you have like Frank Schwindel, who's like 30 years old, had like a great 2 months. You now expect me to believe that he's gonna be really good, like in 600 plate appearances? No. I just can't believe the Cubs have like no slugging.
Right.
That they just have like Ian Happ in the outfield.
Mm-hmm.
That's so that's the thing. Like, either give me one of those shortstops, or give me Castellanos, or I mean, obviously above Castellanos would be Chris Bryant, but I think that relationship is kind of
Yeah,
dead.
I don't think Chris is coming back. What about you, Kev? What are the top 3 things you think the Cubs need to address?
I think Aldo and I are both on the same page for number 1 and number 2. Starting pitching, period. Like if you're going into the season and Albert Alzolay is your number 2, you are more goosed than someone who accidentally sits on an Atari joystick in the middle of the night, plopping down on the couch. You're cornholed on that one. So they really do need to burn out and build up a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3. I mean, honestly, Hendricks honestly should not be a 1. I hate to say that about Hendricks too. He fits as a number 2 well. But so a 1, I think a 1 would be beautiful. And a 1 and a 3, and then push the other guys down. If Alec Mills is on your starting rotation, if the science teacher is there, again, you are already set up to fail. And then Aldo says, I mean, honestly, no offense to Jason Hayward, I'd rather have somebody out there that can swing it, can actually hit. And so if there's a way to get Hayward moved and to get a bat out there like a Castellanos, a Gallo, those types of players, I'd be game for that. Like I think the problem with the Cubs is that they don't have the ability to string. This is what Houston does so well, and we're watching it. We see it happen all the time in a series. They string together 3, 4, 5, 6 hits in a row. Like they have the ability in that lineup at any point to make today a 4-run inning, right, or whatever. Why? Because they string like 4, 5, 6 hits in a row. They don't have to be long balls all the time. Now you put teams away with the long ball too, but the way that they do it, the Cubs need a balanced lineup, and this lineup right now is so 3 outcome it hurts. And so getting magical,
it's not.
The
Cubs have no power outside of Patrick Wisdom and fucking Frank Stradell, who aren't proven guys. The Cubs have a no outcome lineup right now.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Here's the thing. I hate to say, because obviously I know you guys are big fans of Nick Madrigal and Nico Horner, and so am I, and it's nothing against them, and it's great. I like the trade for like getting Nick Madrigal back. Cool. Those guys hit a lot of fucking ground balls, so it's not like it's not just perfect. The Cubs need fucking power. I know we fucking hate they strike out a lot. I don't fucking care. You still need guys to hit home runs, and the Cubs have no proven guys.
You need a balanced lineup.
Yerman, go get Yerman.
Oh God, I don't
need. Yerman didn't fucking slug, Zo.
We don't need.
You know what Yerman Mercedes was? Yerman Mercedes is just like a bigger Nick Madrigal, but he couldn't hit as good.
We don't need the Phoenix to rise at Clark and Addison. I'm sorry that's
just a chunky, darker Nick Madrigal, not as fast.
He'll be sleeping in the spare room above the Cubby Baron, or not the Cubby Baron, in Murphy's in a minute. But they need a balanced lineup. The Cubs don't have something. They don't have something that can string together extra base. I mean, because it's not stringing together hits hit after hit. These are extra base hits, ball in the corner, creating really stressful pitches for the starter too. Like they really are a pain in the ass. Like at any point in their lineup, and the Cubs need that more than anything else. The White Sox have a pretty close to balanced lineup when everybody's 100% healthy. The Cubs, I mean, when you look at that lineup, I mean. I in a perfect world, Nick Madrigal bats 9 or 8 in the lineup, or you do the 8, pitcher hits 8 and then the 9th. But if there's a DH next year, now you got some more work to do to add that extra bat. But I just that lineup right now feels like it's always a 2-out single, or a 1-out single, or a single and then 2 outs, and and it's 2 outs, the guy in first wasted or whatever. Like you didn't see a ton of timely hitting from the Cubs, and that stuff is so vital, especially when you get to the postseason. And the Cubs haven't had that for a while, actually, even with the good guys, the big guys. The timely stuff wasn't there.
Just give me one of those damn shortstops.
Just give me a fucking shortstop.
Cubs have 78 shortstops that are almost there.
Let's say the Cubs get I don't know, like Trevor Story. Because Trevor Story is probably like the middle of the shortstop class right now. Because he's coming off a pretty average season for him. So let's say they get him. And then what we can do with Nico Horner? You can move Nico Horner around the diamond. He can play the outfield.
Yep.
He can play, those Jason Hayward at-bats, maybe those goes away because you can have Nico Horner out there. Mm-hmm. So it just makes...
I'm trading defense. I'll trade defense for offense now at this point in this league.
Yeah.
Castellanos is bad defense. His
I don't even care.
His offense, DH too, but his offense is a plus. Like even after his offense, he's still coming out plus. So I don't know. I thought Hayward if Hayward hit remotely close to what he used to do, I mean, especially when he was, when he was playing his best baseball, fine, but he's not. Like, and he has his stretches and he's a grump. Not necessarily the funnest guy to be around in the clubhouse. So, if you're going to go young, do you want Grandpa Rossi was fun. I don't know. Grandpa Jason might be like that guy that get the fuck off my lawn, bitch. Like it's where he's at. And so I don't know. I mean, he's going to be hard to move though. So, I mean, I think
another Colorado guy that the Cubs could easily get and target. And, it's probably going to bring back awful flashbacks, but the numbers are completely different. John Gray. You can sign John Gray right now, it's
a big name,
in free agency. No, that's the thing, though. Apparently, he's only asking for maybe $10 million a year. That's doable. Cubs can fucking do that.
I feel like I've seen him as a throw-in or a at the end of an article in italics. It's like they could also go after John Gray.
Because John Gray's the middle. He's been good. He's had a couple bad seasons, but he's had a couple great or good seasons, and it's throw him in there, make him a number. At this point, again, Cubs need to have if they can get Marcus Stroman, that would be fucking beautiful. That would set up the rotation nicely, and then you go get that second tier guy, like a John Gray or a bounce back candidate that you look what the Blue Jays did with Robbie Ray. The Cubs have to hit on those kind of moves, basically the equivalent of what the Braves did at the trade deadline. Cubs have to do that in free agency, but that doesn't mean you signed old guys who are coming off injuries like Jake Arrieta. Not those. You don't
waste $9
million on that. You go after guys who were great, maybe a year or two ago. Maybe they had an off season. Maybe they are coming off some minor injury or whatever. Those are the guys you target because you have to. Because again, I do think the Cubs are going to spend. I obviously don't think they're going to go fucking crazy, but they at least need to have that one semi big splash. If not, bleh. 2022, not as fun as I hope it's going to be.
And I mean, the White Sox.
Let's not pretend like it's not within the Ricketts realm of shittiness with Scrooge McRicketts in charge to go the 2022 minor league deal, hope you pan out, trade you at the deadline, full boat season for one more so they can start collecting a little bit if daddy's calling markers in and they plan on maybe unloading the team in a couple of years, getting their max value out of everything. I don't know. I don't trust. I'll believe it when I see it. I can't trust because every single offseason it's been, we're going to spend this offseason and it's been bullshit. We've talked about this. How many times have they kicked the can down the road since 2018? We're not going to spend this offseason because we're gearing up for a Bryce Harper run. Or next year. We got to, we didn't get a bullpen next year. Now wait till next year's become the spending cry for the Ricketts, really. And so I won't believe this is winter 4 of them saying we're going to spend. So spend.
No. See, I have to stop you there. It's not. They haven't said they're going to spend in the years before. They haven't. That was the
Harper stuff. They were like,
nope.
Really?
Yeah, I remember. Do you know why?
I swear that Tom Ricketts literally in his stupid press conference about the Marquee Network made it very clear that was going to allow the Cubs to open up the pocketbooks.
That 2018 or after the Cubs lost to the Rockies in the wild card game, we heard the Theo Epstein, the time of reckoning is coming, and then nothing fucking happened. And the very first thing that happened right at free agency started, the Cubs had to trade True Smiley to the Rangers to pick up Cole Hamels' $20 million option. And everyone wrote, the Cubs will not be spending a lot of money this offseason. They didn't. The next year, there is fucking zero. There is nothing. And the Cubs didn't do anything.
So we actually have a direct question with the player's name. We've been getting shit on in the comment section tonight. It's been actually very enjoyable.
Wonderful. I'm going to take a shot.
Our guy, very good friend of the show, my guy, Little Yumper there. Although, I'm not pronouncing that name. Sia.
Make print your shirts.
Although, what do you think about Sia Suzuki?
If he's good, I honestly haven't read up on him, but I heard he's one of the best players in Japan. I think, right? Japan. At this point, again, Cubs need to basically help at every fucking position group that they have. If he's a solid fit, sign him.
Does he play for the Hiroshima Carp? He's 27 years old.
What do you mean?
Is,
On what, Beef Loaf? I
Just
said
so-
sign up.
Here,
no, he's just saying. No one would know. You'd be like, "Oh yeah, dude has great pop. Runs a 2.640. Yeah, we're gonna."
Oh, I read your comment wrong, Beef. Yeah. I mean, he's probably a solid power hitter. The contact skills are going to translate to MLB.
our guy Evan Altman says, who wrote this, he said that he's a different case and he's very balanced. Who's only 27. Because NPB requires 9 years of full service to reach free agency, many teams won't post players until they're past their prime season, where him being a 27-year-old. So he's 27. I said 29. I apologize. They were comparing him to Yoshi Tsutsugo.
He got signed by the Rays, and he was bad.
Over the last 3 seasons, he has 91 jacks, 82 doubles, 260 walks, and 240 strikeouts.
Where does he even play? Like, I don't.
He started playing at the Hiroshima Carps, and he started playing.
No. I don't. Not like physically. Where? Like, what position does he play?
Oh, he's a
third base, shortstop, and right field.
outfielder. He's an outfielder, according to this.
Baseball Reference says he plays third, short, and right field.
Okay, so it's
I think it's primary outfield. Yeah.
Yep, and then next year the Cubs would have if Ian Happ gets his contract, which he will, that means that they would have 3 primary outfielders all left-handed. That's not a great recipe for total success. That's so this would be a really good boost into this. This would probably be a replacement for Jason Hayward, I think.
I feel like the White Sox 3 positions it's like so unbelievably
It's the same
obvious.
thing for the past 2 years.
Yeah, second base, right field, more pitching.
Yeah.
It's just fuck, dude.
Also, Carter Hawkins, by the way, is a development-minded GM. So that actually makes a good sense.
Well, that's right. We haven't really talked about Carter Hawkins.
Correct.
The best new Hawk in Chicago.
Oh, that's the kid the Cubs hired.
Former Guardian.
Or not Guardian.
Or not Guardian.
Roller derby team.
I'm so rooting for that roller derby team. I hope they take them to the fucking cleaners.
Yes.
Ortega.
How stupid, Zoe? You tweeted out, like, how did no one check?
Apparently someone checked and they just thought, like, we're going to throw them 10 G's and they're just going to fuck off.
Oh my God.
I don't know. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I'm right with you, Zoe. I hope that roller
female roller derby team.
Roller derby, baby.
I hope derby. I'm right with you. Take them to the cleaners. Get millions for it.
Millions. And they own all the social media handles.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
No, they have the domain. They have everything.
Everything. I'd be like, fuck you. We're not even going to start talking.
You know what I would do? Like, hey,
10 million on the table.
We'll license the name to you.
So, Chirizi lets us know that. Oh, we're going back and forth on that button. The roller derby team's been offered 4 figures.
Smooth 4 figures.
Yes, it was R2D2 doll, a Luke Skywalker, a Darth Vader, and a Yoda. Those are the 4 figures they were offered.
Oh my God! If I was that role, I would be so happy right now. I'd be like, "Oh my God, you guys!"
They were like the happiest people when they made the announcement back. Whenever they made it, they're like, "Wait, what? You're gonna be the what?"
When the Golden Knights named Golden Knights, they got sued by the Army. That got settled.
I did see that.
So
that's a little different, dude. Army's got government money. We're talking about a female roller derby team in Cleveland. I'm sure I'm not even showing up to the litigation.
If I'm the owner, I'd just buy the roller derby team. Buy the roller derby team. Just buy it.
For
probably cheaper than a lawsuit.
No, but that's the thing. The roller derby
price of the team is $10 million now.
Yeah.
You want to buy this team? $10 million.
Wasn't it in the league? What's his face has the Cowboys domain?
Yes.
Taco, or what was his name?
His name was Taco. That guy was awesome. I remember, like, when they announced that they were going to change their name, there was this dude that went and, like, bought a bunch of domains because he thought that's what the team name was going to be, and he thought he was going to get rich because he could just sell them the domain once they changed their name. I still think they should have went with Spiders, so I hope this fucks up for them.
Spiders would have been rad.
Well, there's already, like, if you go, there's people made mock designs for the Spiders uniforms. They're fucking cool, man. Like, it's a good Yes, they
I understand the Guardians. I understand that it was, it's based on the gargoyles or whatever that around the city and the art sculptures on top of the buildings or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally understandable. It's obscure, but Clevelanders know. I just wish that a team would finally have the sack to go out and name themselves the Akbars. I want to. Cleveland Akbars would have been my vote.
Can someone in the comment section please explain to me why this dude dressed up as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is on every other tweet on my Twitter feed right now? I know it's wrestling. I don't know. I don't follow wrestling at all, but like it's all over the fucking place. Some dude showed up dressed up like the Marshmallow Man and then like snuck up behind a dude and body slammed him or some shit. But like all these people are fucking tweeting about it and it's annoying as shit. I don't know why. I don't get it. Anyways,
are they tagging you? Do they want you to know about it specifically or?
No, it's just it seems to be a very big
Wait, where did this
you're trying to dip your toe and get a little bit of a feel of the current pop culture references going on the social.
I just want to know why the fuck it's a big deal. I really.
Wait, where did this happen? What's going on?
On Twitter,
I see it now.
Some wrestling thing, like some dude. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, I mean, it must be some. He must be a.
He's at a second on that, by the way. That's on the exchange. I don't know if you watched. That's on the
exchange. But
he caught it. It's just on the exchange. That's an out of second.
But that's what we just mentioned earlier. This is where the defense comes in, and this is another reason why Houston's playing right now. Is that team is defensively sound. You know what I mean? Like we saw it was very prevalent in the White Sox series.
They have Maldonado is such a fantastic defensive catcher. It is so enjoyable to watch him work behind the dish.
A+ nickname too for a catcher. A+ nickname.
Speaking of Martin Maldonado, I saw Cubs legend. I think he went like
Jorge Soler
something. I saw this article. I think it was written. Actually, I don't remember if Jordan wrote it, but it was on Sox on 35th. Or 34th.
Well, straight.
I mean, you can get off. You can get off.
Sister website.
Sox on Edison.
Yeah.
Sox down on Irving Park Road.
Martin Maldonado, a more valuable catcher than Yasmani Grandal? Question mark. That was an article written not sarcastically.
Aldo Ducks.
I'm just bringing it up.
He's a better defensive catcher without a doubt, but Yaz is better at the dish. I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd take Grandal.
If you're going defense, you go with Maldonado, obviously. But
yeah, I mean, if I'm starting a team right now, I'm picking a catcher, and I had to pick out of those two, I'll probably take Grandal.
Are they doing okay? So I might have some context for you. So I've seen a couple other pictures because dudes rolled into the ring dressed like Ghostbusters because it's Halloween weekend. So someone came in pretending to be the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but apparently somebody is in the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, takes off the mask, and he's hiding behind the Ghostbuster guy, and he's about to brain him from behind, like he snuck in the Stay Puft Marshmallow, and he's gonna.
So for all the diehard AEW wrestling fans, that was
I don't know who
Adam Hangman Page.
There it is. Okay.
Oh, there it is. That's the answer I was looking for. That's what I needed.
Hey guys, wrestling's back. Kind of.
Great slide at third on this play right here at third. If you're watching the game, what a great slide!
That's going to be
back side of the bag.
Question, Zoe, when's the last time you regularly watched wrestling?
I was single digits. Like
I was like 8 or 9.
No, I probably watched a little bit in high school.
Yeah, because you watched like the NWO. That was late 90s.
Yeah, that was late 90s.
Yeah.
Well, I graduated. I was out of 8th grade in 98.
Okay.
My wrestling knowledge ends in 2000.
All right. Were you a WCW or WWEF guy?
Well, I mean, mostly WWF, whatever. But the WCW sports in the late 90s was the place to be. I mean, with Eric Bischoff and the NWO, that was next level.
Sable was one of the chicks, right? Sable. Yeah.
This is how I convinced my dad to get cable. It was, Dad, the Cubs play on WGN every day. You can watch them. And secretly, I really wanted to get the WWF. So I wanted to get the WrestleMania 2. It was WrestleMania 2, and I wanted to get it. I needed that Bundy cage match. Was it Who was the never
It was
mind.
King Kong Bundy versus Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
WrestleMania
who was
2.
the guest
Cage
ref though? The guest ref of that fight was somebody too, and I'm trying to remember. It was somebody. It was a somebody.
I think it was like they would always do celebrity.
It wasn't Donald Trump because I think he was at one point on one of those. I think he got chokeslammed or something. But
Yeah, I think they did WrestleMania 4 and 5 in New Jersey, his hotel.
that was when Ricky Steamboat beat Macho Man.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was a big Bret Hart guy. I like Bret the Hitman Hart.
Oh yeah.
Him and Shawn Michaels, that was my jam.
But the first pay-per-view I saw, it was like recorded. It was WrestleMania 12. That was like my first this is wrestling. I was like, all right.
Oh, this is wrestling.
Do you know what that show featured? It featured Roddy Piper versus Goldust in a Hollywood back brawl, and they had the OJ scene clipped in. It was like they showed I think Goldust got in a gold Cadillac or something, and he drove off, and then they had Roddy Piper get in a Bronco chasing after him, and then they just cut to the actual OJ scene of him getting chased.
I was watching the NBA Finals when that happened.
I misspoke, by the way. I was talking about WrestleMania 3 with the Steamboat Macho Man. He beat Hercules Hernandez in WrestleMania 2. That was great. Because that was when Andre the Giant won the battle, the NFL battle, because Refrigerator Perry went over. That was another reason. That's how I argued that my dad to get pay-per-view and watch the fight or watch the event was the Refrigerator Perry was in the Battle Royale and got thrown over they got the handshake. They pulled him over the top rope with a handshake. He threw somebody out and they gave him the handshake. Do you guys remember this? No? Anybody remember this?
I did not. I don't know much about
Fridge,
80s wrestling.
I remember who Fridge knocked out of the ring, and the guy's like, "Oh, great job!" Or no, Fridge got knocked out, and he said, "Okay," and he shakes his hand, and Fridge pulls him out of the ring over the top rope. Was it Big John Studd? Oh, I don't know. Oh, hold on.
I was watching the NBA Finals when they cut to the OJ chase screen, and I was pissed. My dad explained to me what the fuck was going on.
Did he bet on the Rockets?
No.
Oh.
I don't think I had an account yet.
Dad, not you, Zoe.
No, he had to explain to me. I was like, why the hell are we just watching
what the
cars?
Fuck is this guy?
Yeah, why are we watching cars driving? I just want to fucking watch basketball.
I don't want to tell you what I was doing downstairs with somebody when the OJ chase came on TV.
Congrats on the sex.
No. That was definitely not sex. No. This is actually one of my more awkward regrets as a teenager because I actually failed at all the social cues. All at once.
Congrats on the over-the-pants hand job?
Nope. I didn't take the cues. That was actually worse.
Yeah, I definitely
did it when I was 30, so I was fine, and we made up for it.
I definitely watched the 30 for 30 on the OJ day chasing. That was very well done. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
She stayed for dinner that night because no one could leave.
Dude, I don't know. Obviously, for the White Sox, I really think it's going to be Castellanos. Nick Castellanos.
How confident are you that the Sox are going to spend a big contract like that?
I got to think they're going to open it up a little bit more. To get as far as they did and to have it explain or have it end the way that it did, so poorly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd like to think.
Where does this confidence come from, Zoe?
Just the dumb part of my brain.
I'm so glad you like to think. That's wonderful.
Because I was thinking about last year. I'm like, they signed Adam Eaton. Obviously, that was the cheap move. But they did want to sign Jock. But at the same time, I think Jock was only going to be a 1 year plus the option deal. It's not like it was going to be a huge deal either. And the last big deal was Grandal. So obviously they did spend after going after the number one guy at a position.
If they can land one of Castellanos or Conforto, that would be a huge W.
Conforto free agent?
I believe so. Yes.
If he is, that is another guy I want the Cubs to target because that's the guy who's coming off a pretty bad year, I think. Who's been good in the past.
Conforto's a free agent. He's eligible for a qualifying offer, but he's definitely a free agent.
I don't think there are. I don't think so. But that's a guy that both teams should target. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would take either one of those. I've mentioned Chris Taylor's name, and I know that's like recency bias but he's actually been a really
He's
good
been solid for
utility
many
player.
years.
Yeah, for the Dodgers. I think a versatile player like that would be great to have. I mean, I know we got that in Larry Garcia, but if we can have like a better version of Larry Garcia, that'd be pretty dope.
Hey, Larry Garcia was like top 12 hitter after the deadline or something, right?
That says a lot about what
The
happened
team.
after the fucking deadline. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna.
Are you? I know this is way
Oh,
early.
another one. I like the. I'm still gonna keep beating this drum. Is the Kimbrel for either Gavin Lux or Cody Bellinger?
Okay.
Kimbrel to the Dodgers. Dodgers need him. Dodgers could use him.
Are you at all worried about the not the relief pitching, but the starting pitching?
Oh yeah. I mean, Dallas is cooked. Dallas isn't even cooked. He's cooked worse than those ribs that Fitz was jokingly putting pictures up of the other day. I mean, he is fucking dust, dude. Everybody saw what happened at the end of the year. Everybody saw what happened with just the pitching just burned out, dude.
Yeah, and I do think it's gonna be different because obviously, I think we finally got to the point where, like, remember all the talk in spring training was like, how are the pitchers going to handle the weird 2020 and like the transition of pitching a lot, not pitching a little. So like I think we finally saw like the end result there, like where guys were just, and we're seeing it all over baseball. McCullers just dead,
Yep.
and then or not dead, arm. But yeah, but like the one pitcher who was great for you guys, and I kind of could see it going not all the way bad because I think this will be decent. Like I kind of see the Lance Lynn regression coming.
He's not getting any younger.
No, because he was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
There is no way you can expect that again. Like that type of production. I still think he can be good. But like he was fucking awesome.
I wouldn't doubt of him having another big first half, like after having a rest, whatever. Like, and his knees fucking up and everything like that. So there's definitely going to be a regression to the mean for him, without a doubt. I mean, I think Lucas Giolito will be solid. I think Cease is going to be actually better. I mean, that's a solid 1-2 you can work up there. Lynn will be fine. Lynn will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas is dead money. Kopech, I think now is the time to make the jump.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that's kind of another question mark.
Yep.
Because he hasn't been in the starter's role in like 3 years.
Right. So it'd be if he goes a full off season though, like knowing he's going to be a starter this year.
See, that's the key. Yeah. Time to prepare now.
That's the big one. Yes, I understand Kimbrel's not going to warrant that return. It'd obviously be Kimbrel plus some other pieces, but
Kimbrel for Madrigal?
Just trade backsies.
Yeah, just like,
I mean, I'd be all for it, but yeah, I mean, I'm very curious to see what they do to fill the second base. Because, yeah, I don't know what the answer is there.
Do you think?
Because they've already coming out with people saying that they're not going to pick up Caesar's option.
Yeah. Which is, I think that's a good sign. Because that's like, hey, obviously there's a hole. There's no way that you're going to be like, yeah, Larry Garcia starting second base. So I think that's a good sign. I would have
to retire with my fellow nerds in the nerdery on our calculators and abacuses and whatnot to determine the amount of innings I expect out of Michael Kopech in 2022. I don't know. I don't know. Again, I think it'd be a huge difference maker for him going into a full off season, knowing that he's going to be expected to be a rotational starting pitcher next year.
Well, I was going to look up just for reference. In this past year, Cease made 32 starts. He pitched 165 innings.
Okay, I don't see Kopech doing that.
And then in 2020, obviously the shortened season, he had 12 starts, only pitched 58 innings.
Okay, well, somewhere in the middle.
So in the middle would be like around 130. Okay, I'll do the combined. Dylan C's first 2 years, 26 starts. He pitched about 131 innings.
Okay, so that works.
But
And
again,
yeah,
that was a fully healthy Dylan C.
they could piggyback him with Lopez, but I'm kind of over this whole piggyback starts bullshit. I understand why they do it. I get it. I understand. It's just let these guys go do their shit. But they definitely are going to sign a starting pitcher. I think they're going to go.
Well, hey, I think I'll rephrase the. Don't think about the innings, but would you feel confident being like, we expect Michael Kopech to make 25 starts next season, and like you'd like that's you should guarantee that, or like you feel that that's a guarantee.
No, nothing's guaranteed, man. Especially with his
Track
track record.
Look at Lucas Giolito. You pretty much expect Lucas Giolito to go out there and have 30 plus starts, right?
Right.
So starting next season, do you think Kopech can get you, let's say, 20 plus starts?
I feel way more confident in saying 20 plus. I mean, his injury history is a lot different than Lucas. No, it's not actually.
I think just the Tommy John, huh?
Didn't
and
Lucas have Tommy? Lucas had Tommy John. Giolito had Tommy John.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Tommy John's not like what it used to be, where it was like I think Tommy John is almost an inconvenience at this point in where the science is at. So
right.
You almost can say, I mean, there's people that get.
That's a great way to put it. It's just an inconvenience because all these dudes are coming back from it with fucking rockets attached to their fucking shoulder.
Yeah, I was just saying, you when they're doing the balancing of all the different tendons and muscles, they tend to actually add velo, like because they're isolating. And so when that isolation becomes a thing, I know, you've seen guys that come back, from the injury and like, wow, he just added a couple ticks to that fastball. Well, it's just because they were working harder on one area, but you can't just work that one area. You have to keep everything balanced. So you work as hard in other areas. So the other areas that aren't hurt are getting the same training the area that's rehabbing gets, and it just builds. It's I love it. It's one of my favorite things. This isn't like, it's not a death sentence anymore, at least. So, and that's what you see. I got one when I was a sophomore in college.
I don't know. It's definitely not a death sentence anymore. Not even close. If anything, it's especially if you catch it earlier. And then there's all of those reports though of these kids in high school like getting it done on purpose. I don't know. It's all.
That's what I was gonna say. That was a weird trend.
Yeah,
that was a thing.
That's strange to me. But I don't know. I don't have a name for a starting pitcher right off the top of my head right now, but they definitely need, because I don't even know what the fuck they do with Dallas Keuchel. You know what I mean?
Someone's really desperate.
Hope that in the CBA, that one of the things that comes out of it is a salary floor.
Yeah.
He could be somebody's nice salary, like floor,
right.
like
a bump up.
Yeah, bump.
Yeah. Like, hey, Marlins, you need to spend some money.
Yeah, here's Dallas Keuchel. Boom, done. Yeah, but I still, the right field, I feel like the White Sox have a lot of options. Like there's a lot of different routes they can go. They can't do the Adam Eaton again. You can't feed me shit and try to get me to say it's gourmet again. Like there's a lot of good options out there. You can't fucking go with the cheap. You can't do that again. But second base to me is the biggest like enigma for me right now. Like I don't know.
I have to ask, is there a chance, like any chance, or is this like, is there, do I have a better shot with Kate Beckinsale that the old man would open up the wallets and push it all the way up to 190, 200 million and say, let's go and actually put the gas, put the pedal to the floor. Like, is there any chance honestly, like, do I have a better shot with Kate Beckinsale? Like,
I don't think it happens. I don't think it happens at all. Yeah, they could play Andrew Vaughn in right field too. I don't think. I just
like a bucket list. He's like,
they're so close,
he has a dream where he like the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future show up and like, dude, you need to win a World Series.
They're close. They're very close to being a competitive team for a World Series, and I keep trying to think of a player that I want to be the starting second baseman for the White Sox on opening day, and nothing's sticking. You know what I mean? Right field, yes, Andrew Vaughn's definitely an option. Conforto, Castellanos, all these names, you just rifle off right fielders' names, possible right fielders. But when it comes to second base,
I think there's just the one, right? Chris Taylor.
Bryson stuff.
I mean, yeah. So I don't know. You guys got anything else tonight, though? I just realized we're at 1:20, and I just heard my kid crying. So you guys got anything else for tonight?
I just wanted to point out how no one wants to work with, no one wants to be the Mets GM, and they're asking Chris Christie for advice. So.
Dude, he's asking guys who have no baseball experience about advice about how to run his baseball team.
I know that when Steve Cohen became the owner, and we were like, "Hey, it's fucking cool," this guy's like obviously a billionaire,
really tweets
like 10 times over, and it was like, "Hey, look at this guy, he's tweeting." It's like, "Oh, like it would be kind of interesting if like an owner was like that in Chicago," but holy shit, what a mess!
Oh yeah, it's his fantasy team. It's a fantasy team for him. So like he's like, hey bro, hey Chris.
Like the fact
that you're second base, bro.
The fact that they're barely, and I don't know the rules in MLB, like when you're allowed to ask for permission, but it just seems like the regular season ended, and the Mets are like, oh shit, we need a GM. Let's start asking around. That's what it seems like.
Do you guys have any, know anybody that wants to be a GM?
They're basically just going to like every team's like, hey, Brewers,
yeah.
Like,
all right, guys, I gotta bounce out of here.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
adios.
For all the Fids, I'm Zoe. We'll see you guys next week.
Happy Halloween.